Lesson 18.3. Lesson 18.3, and it's page 915. All right. It says, for each function, identify the period and the midline of the graph and where the graph crosses the midline. For a sine or cosine function, identify the amplitude and the maximum and minimum values where they occur. For a tangent function, identify the asymptotes and the values of the halfway points. Then graph one cycle. So let's take a look at this. I probably need to give you a little bit of notes. So let's do that. Probably gonna need more room than that. So we'll do it like this. We have f of x equals a sine 1 over b, and that's x minus h and plus k. For cosine, it's f of x equals a cosine. I'm about to write sine again. Cosine 1 over b, x minus h plus k. And for tangent, f of x equals a tangent 1 over b, x minus h plus k. Okay, so what does A do? A, what it's done all year long, that is a vertical stretch or compression, and that goes for all three. It and or reflect over the x-axis. Reflect over the x-axis. B, horizontal stretch or compression. Horizontal stretch and or reflect over the y-axis. H is a horizontal translation. Left or right. And K is a vertical translation. Up or down. Okay. Now, remember, for the sine and cosine, the period is 2 pi b, and for the tangent, the period is pi times b. All right? Now, on this lesson here, we're going to be graphing the 5 key points, okay? These things are actually very easy to graph. By hand, they're actually real easy to graph by hand. Calculator helps too. Now, a couple other things. The amplitude, amplitude is always the absolute value of A. And the midline is whatever K is. The midline. K equals well, y equals k. Y equals k. And I'll show you those a little bit more in just a second. So go ahead and put that in your notes. And let's get started. I know y'all are anxious. Let's get started. This is really cool stuff. Let me put it up here. All right. So we're going to start off by A is -3. So that's going to be a vertical stretch by a factor of 3 and reflect over the x-axis. B in this case is 1. K is 1, and H is -pi. Okay, remember H minus K, and in this case here we are X minus H, X minus H, and this we have X plus pi. So we subtract X from both sides, and we get -H equals pi. Multiply both sides by -1, and we get H equals -pi. Okay, so H is -pi. That's how we do that. Now, before we graph this, let's take a look at a few things. No, let's take a graph. Let's graph the original. Just plain old sine x. Okay, sine x. And what do we got here? We have -2pi to 3pi. So menu 4, 1, -pi to 3pi. And what else we got? That's pi over, so that's going to be pi over 4 is our scale. Pi divide 4. Okay, there we go. So there is our original parent function. Now let's take a look at what we got here. We've got A equals -3, B equals 1, K is 1, and all right, let's start off with our midline. And that's Y equals whatever K is, in this case is 1. So let's find that. Let's go over here and let's find that. 1, let's draw it. A little low. That looks fairly level. All right, so there is our midline. Next thing we have is our amplitude, and that's going to be 3. So we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. A little high, a little low. And that looks pretty good. And then we're going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. Down to -2. A little low. Pretty close. So we got our amplitude here. Now remember sine always started at 0. And if you go and look, here it starts at 0 and it goes up and then it goes down, and here is 2pi right here. The period of that is 2pi. So what's the period of this? Well, since B is 1, our period is going to be 2pi times 1, which is 2pi. Okay, so it usually starts here at 0, but since we have a midline of 1, it's going to start here at 1. Our period is 2pi, so we're going to go 2pi. All right, this is our first key point first. This is our fifth key point. Okay. Now, halfway in between that is pi, and we're back here. And that is our third key point. Oh, key points. All right. First, last, and then halfway in between. Now, what's halfway in between here? Pi over 2. But since we got a -3, it's going to go down. Which means this one is going to be up. And let's see here. And there we go. Let's check that in our calculator. -3 sine, so tab, -3 sine, and we had, oh, x plus pi. I didn't do that. Oh, I did not move it over. I sure did not. Pi, negative pi. Watch this. Watch it. You're going to love this. X plus pi, and then plus 1. Okay. Now, remember I had it going down? I should have moved it over pi, which is right there. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. Moved it over pi, right there. Okay. And then you got pi over 2 is down here. So the actual graph, which means that's there, which means this is here, which means that is there. So this is actually our first right here. And then our second is here. That's our third. Our fourth is here. And then our fifth is there. Fourth. Okay, and then so we got, it looks like this. And does that not match? Oh, because I did it. And watch. Tab, let's go. Oh, tab. And if we put a 3 in there, 3 times. And it's supposed to be -3. -3. Put a -3 in there. Now, does that not match? It does. See, there's pi. There's 2 pi, and then there's 3 pi. All right, good. Don't forget your H. I forgot my H that time. Let's try number 2. Let's try number 2. So we're going to start off by A equals 2. This time B equals, well, let's see, we got 1 over B equals 3. Multiply both sides by B. And then so V equals 1/3. 1/3. H equals 0. And then K equals 1. So let's find our midline. Our midline, Y equals 1. That's our midline. And then our amplitude is 2. So we're going to go up 2, 1, 2. That's a little high. Just a tad low. Maybe just, and then down 2, 1, 2. And still just a tad low. It's about the same spot, isn't it? There we go. All right. See if we can do a little bit better job. And we'll say our amplitude. I'm going to abbreviate it. It's 2. All right, so up 2 and down 2. Cosine, remember, it usually starts at 1. It starts up high. But we got our period to deal with. Our period. Our period. Period is 2 pi times b, which is 1/3. So that's going to be 2 pi over 3. That's our period. 2 pi over 3. So since that's positive, we're going to start at pi. If it was negative, we'd start low. And that's our first point. Our fifth point is going to be 2 pi over 3. Okay, 2 pi over 3. So that's our first. That's our fifth. First and our fifth. And then, halfway in between is pi over 3. So there's our third. And then half of that is here, so that's going to be right there. And half of that is there, it's going to be there. So we're going to look at something that goes like this. And then there we go. Well, let's see how we did this time. So we got, let's see, tab. Let's control delete that. And control delete, enter, tab. And let's go up here. We got 3 signs. Delete. We're just going to put in cosine. Cosine x. And there we go. Now let's put in this one here. We've got 2 times cosine 3x. 2 times cosine 3x. And then plus 1. Plus 1. Oh, that looks quite a bit different, doesn't it? Wonder why that is. Let's see here. Let's change it. It goes from negative pi to 2 pi. And then pi over 3. So let's see here. Menu 4, 1, negative pi, and then that went to 2. We're going to put it to 2 pi. And then we're going to do pi over 3. Pi divide 3. It's really pi divided by 6. There we go. Starts up and goes down. There's 1 pi, or half a pi over 3, there's 2 pi, and it's back up there at it. Okay, we did good that time. We did good that time. Now let's try a tangent function. Number 3, a tangent function. Now, how was this different? How was this different? Okay, this time we have a equals 1, b equals 2, and then h equals pi, and k equals 3. Okay, so what do we got here? What about our period? Our period is pi times b, so that's going to be 2 pi. Okay, that's our period. We're going to move it up 3, so that's going to be like our midpoint. And then we'll just, I really don't like to draw those, but we'll do that. That's going to be our midpoint. Where does it start at? Remember, it usually in, let me show you. Let me show you. Tab. I'm going to delete that. And then tab. And we're going to put a tangent function in there. Tangent x. Now, usually 0, see how it goes through 0 there? Remember, you had the asymptotes. I'm going to put, let's see, menu. That's what do we got here? It goes from negative 2 pi to 2 pi. So menu 4,1, negative 2 pi to 2 pi. And then what did we have here? We had pi over 2. So we got pi divide 2. And then there you go. Now, remember, the period is pi. So you got an asymptote here at pi over 2 and negative pi over 2. And I'm going to just go ahead and draw it so you can see it. Menu 3. Menu 3, 2, and I'm going to put x equals negative, control, divide, pi over 2, pi over, I hate when I do that, 2, and that gives you the 1, and then we'll get the other one, tab, and we got x equals pi over 2. You don't really have to do these. I'm just doing it so you can see. All right, so and there is one period right there. See how it's at 0, 0? Okay, now this is k equals 3. Okay, and you got 2 pi, so and h is pi, so it's been moved to the right by pi. So our point is going to be here at pi 3, okay? And we're going to have an asymptote. It's going to go down through, because half of it's going to be on this side and half of it's going to be on that side. We're going to have an asymptote that goes down through there at 2 pi. And then another one that's going to go down on the y-axis. Okay, y on it. You're probably not even going to be able to see it. All right, so there we go. So here's our first, here's our fifth, there's our third. Okay. Now half that distance is pi over 2. and that's going to be down, because A is positive. That's going to be pi over 2, and that's going to be there. And it's going to do something like this right here. It'll look something like that. All right, let's try it. 1/2. Okay, what do we got here? Tab, menu 3, 1. Let's go back to our regular. And we have tangent 1/2. Tangent 1/2 times open parentheses x minus pi. Is that right? X minus pi. All right. Then we're going to step outside of those, and we're going to put plus 3. Okay, so you see how it moved it over? It went from here, it went pi to the right, and then up 3. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. Not too hard. Not hard at all. 4. Oh, I got another sign here. Good deal. I can redeem myself from that last one. It was a fiasco. So what do we got here? We got A equals 3. B equals, oh, we got 1 over B equals pi over 2. Well, that's going to multiply both sides by 2. And you got 2 over B equals pi. Multiply both sides by B, and you got 2 equals pi B. And then divide both sides by 2, and you've got 2 over pi. So B equals 2 over pi. Well, that ought to be interesting. Because our period, remember our period is 2 pi B, which in this case is 2 over pi. Okay, so the pi's are going to cancel out. 2 times 2 is 4. So our period is 4. Oh, that's right. Now what about H? H is 2 and K equals 3. All right, so let's see here. We have our midline. Our midline is at 3. That ain't working. That's a little low too. Our midline, that looks, there we go. Fell on the right spot. So that's our midline is at 3. That's our midline. Next we have our amplitude, and we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Our period is 4, right? Our period is 4. 5 key points. Remember, it usually starts at 0, but this time it's going to start up here, right? And if our period is 4, it's going to right there. Okay, halfway in between is 2. That's going to be right there. And then halfway, this is positive, so it's going to go up. And so it should look something like this right here. Should look something like that there. Boy, I wish I could draw it. I don't think that point is right in the middle. But anyway, all right, let's try it. So we got b is pi over 2. Oh, h is 2, and I did not move it over. I did not move it over. I about messed that up. Let's see here. I did not move it over. I about did it again. I don't need to. I did not move it over. So it usually starts at 0, 0, but now we've got h is 2, so we're going to move it over 2. So it'll start at 3, 2. And then we're going to add 4 to that. That'll be 6. And then halfway in between will be 4. And then up. And then down. Well, that's going to be down. And that's going to be there. And that's going to be just so it'll look when you see it on the count. This is the 1. There it is. And then I was going to put that on there so you can see it. Let me put that in a different color. So when you see it on the calculator, it ought to look right. And of course, that would be that looks like 2 of them. All right, so we got 3 sine pi over 2 x minus 2. Three sine pi over 2. I did that 2. And times, open parentheses. And what do we got? X minus 2. X minus 2. And then we got plus 3. Plus 3. Aha. Is that looking good? I'll be dead gone. We got too much interference in here. Let's get rid of this one here. There we go. Menu 3, 2. Got rid of all that interference. And then there you go. Not too bad. Number, oh. Did we skip one? What about 4? We didn't do 4, did we? Where's 4 at? Yes, we just did 4. So now it's 5. Assign, write an equation for the given graph. Okay. It is a sine function, right? This is going to be a lot easier than you think it is. Look at there. There is your, and then there is, whoop, 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 whoop. And then we got to have a midline. Where's the midline? Let's see. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see if we go up to 1, 2. That was supposed to have been red. Okay. Ain't that cool? Ain't that cool? Look at there. What do we got? We have an amplitude, A equals 2. And here's our midline, K equals 1. It's a sine function, so it's supposed to start at 0 and go up, but it seems to be going down. So that's a negative, so maybe that's negative 2. All right. Now, let's see here. If we're here, when do we get back? Oh, that's 2 pi, so our period is 2 pi. So B must equal 1. Let's see if we can write this. G of x equals negative 2 sine, and then we're going to have x, because it doesn't look like it's been, and then plus 1. Well, let's try that. Let's see how well that works. Let's go in here on new document. No. Go to graphs. We may have negative 2 sine x plus 1. Negative 2 and sine x plus 1. That don't look anything like it, does it? Well, we need a menu for 1, and we got negative 2 pi. We have 2 pi. And we got to have our, what is that? Pi over 4. Pi by 4. There we go. How's that? Does that look pretty good? Let's see here. Does that look like it? So 0, 1. 0, 1 is going down. Looks like it gets to negative 1 up to 1, 2, 3. I think we are in business. All right. It's not hard to write them. It's not hard to write them. Just remember your 5 points. What about number 6? What about number 6? A cosine function. Oh man, that's just wonderful. Okay, so what do we got here? We're up here at 5, and we're down here at negative 1. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to do 3. 1, 2, 3. So 2. There we go. So what do we got? We got our midline, y equals 2. Our amplitude, A, equals, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Now, it goes down. How much is our period? Well, it goes from here down to there. It gets back up it. So our period is 2 pi, which means B equals 1, because remember 2 pi B. All right, so that's 1. We might have a winner here. What do we got? F of x equals 3 cosine x plus 2. Let's try that. And it goes from negative, so that's all good. Tab, Control, Delete. And we had a 3 cosine x plus 2. 3 cosine x plus 2. Does that look like it? Let's see. It does, doesn't it? Sure does. Good deal. And I think the next one is a tangent. Yeah, tangent function. This is a little bit trickier. All right, this is a little bit trickier. So what do we got here? Well, our midline is, so that's going to be y equals 2. And we go from negative pi to 2 pi. So b must be 2. Okay, because remember the period is just pi times b, and for it to be, so 2 pi equals pi times b, divide both sides of it, so 2 equals b, so that's our period. Now, what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, looks like our amplitude is 3. Let's go try that. Let's go try that. So, tab, control, delete, and what do we got? We've got, we have 3 tangent, 3 tangent, and then we got a B, but we don't have an H, but we have a K. Okay, so that would be 1/2 x, 1 control divide 2. Okay. What did we say? 3 tangent control divide 1/2 times x, and was it plus 2? Was it plus 2? Yeah, that was plus 2, wasn't it? Plus 2, 0, 2. All right, let's see here. And then we got asymptotes at negative pi and pi. So let's put that in there. Well, yeah, tab and menu 3, 2, and we've got x equals negative pi. There it is. And menu tab x x equals pi. Okay. Now we also had a point at what? It was 5, and that's pi over 2. Let's see if we can find that. Control T, x is pi over 2. It says, looks like it's going to be somewhere in between there, because pi over 2 is 1 point something or another. All right. So there we go. I didn't write the equation. F of x equals 3 tangent, and then we've got 1/2 x plus 2. I believe that was it. Yep. Great job, folks. I will see you in class, and you have a nice day.